to the place where we take your music and we listen to it and we hang out. Happy days, getting late. Roll another one, 'cause we're gonna have some fun. Don't forget to follow any of our affiliates mentioned in our shows. Roll another blunt, 'cause we gon' light it up. Send your music in. Enjoy the tunes with me. Roll up on the screen. Take a seat with me. Send your music in. And maybe bring your friends. Take a seat with me. Enjoy the show with me. Sit back and hang out with Happy Days and me.
Jacob with the double styrofoam cup.
Acid heavy. What's up, guys? It's Acid Happy with Happy Daze Productions, and I do apologize for the technical errors that we're having momentarily. I'm trying to share it out, and my phone is like breaking out and spazzing out as we speak. But today's gonna be a good day. We have an interview with an artist from Toledo, Ohio, Glass City, 419 area, and that's where I'm from, so I'm excited for this interview. Not only that, but we've got a lot of upcoming things to talk about. We're not going to do that right now. I'll get to that towards the end of the episode after our interview. Later on in the day, we're going to be doing another music rotation, so stay tuned for that later on in the night. Moving forward, I'm going to introduce our guest for today's episode. What is up, Ghetto-T? How are you doing?
What's up? I'm pretty good.
All right, that's good. That's good. So, what do you got going on today? Anything fun? Any music? Any projects you working on?
Me and my boy Local Mike, we just finished our third album together as a duo. It's called Crossover 3, and we're gonna be putting that out this summer. Start rolling out some singles here in April for it.
Okay, I see. I see. That's what's up. That's what's up. So, regarding the singles, is there anything else or is that it? Do you got any side projects, side hobbies, or anything like that you do? Game or anything like that?
Um, Not really. I work, um, come home from work, take care of my kids, do work around the house, do music. I watch sports a lot. I don't really have any other hobbies besides music. I
Well,
mean,
that's cool. That's
pretty much like
cool.
work, being a dad, music.
Of course, of course. Now, would you say that music is a hobby, or would you say that it's more of something that you're trying to pursue um on a regular basis or on a career path level?
It's um it's a small business for
A
me at this
small
point.
business. I see.
Um yeah. I mean, obviously, like, I love doing music. If I didn't love it, I wouldn't do it.
Right.
But at the same time, I like the money that I'm starting to make from it now. 'Cause back in the day, I did so much work doing shows for free, handing out CDs for free, putting all this money into it and not getting any money back. And now I'm starting to profit, what I put in, I'm getting like double that back. So I
Yes.
mean, I look at it as a business as well as something I love to do.
I see. And that makes a lot of sense, because I think a lot of us as artists, we put so much in, and not everyone gets to that point where we get to see what we put in back. So, it's good that you're at a set zone where you understand that like this is a business, you're going to, or you want to get what you put into it back out of it. You know what I mean? You want that reciprocation factor when it comes to the financial stuff.
Yeah, I mean, and there's certain people, certain rappers that I look up to, or I've looked up to as a kid and young adult, where they did the same thing. They instead of going to the record label, they started their own record label. They sold CDs and tapes out of their trunk. I mean, people like Master P and No Limit Records, and then up north in Detroit, we had ICP, who they were just doing their own thing, started their own record label, built it from the ground up. And I think it's important as the artist to, especially these days, is to cut out the middleman, cut out the record label, do everything that you can independently, build your own team, and have full control of your music if you can.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that 100%. Now, moving on to our actual list questions. Okay, wow, we've got quite a few people in the comments. What's up, everybody? Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're tapped in already, I want you guys to share this out and comment questions for our guests below. If you're new here, the interview email to schedule an interview is paneling across the bottom of the screen. So send an email or message myself or Jacob to schedule an interview. Um, so to know a little bit about you, we may or may not have already covered this, but these are the questions. What's your stage name, your real name, and how did you come up with your stage name?
Um, my stage name is Ghetto-T. My real name is Troy. I did not come up with it. I When I was in junior high, early high school, there were like I grew up in a white community, a lot of white kids at my school. So they would make fun of me because I was this white guy trying to rap, and they started calling me Ghetto Troy. And then it got shortened to Ghetto T. And I had no rapper name. Like when I went to start pressing up CDs and selling them around school. So I was just like, fuck it. I'm writing Ghetto T on the CD. I'm putting it on the
I
cover that I'm
really like
making,
that
and
name a lot.
that's what it's gonna be. I didn't pick it.
It was given
I
to you.
I think I was gonna call
Those are the
myself.
best ones.
I think I was gonna call myself like TK or something like that, which is my initials,
Yeah.
and that would have been dumb as hell.
I really like
It would have been
Ghetto
lame.
Troy.
Like,
It's a good one.
Yes, Jake says he likes that. It's a good
Ghetto
one.
T, Ghetto Troy, either one.
So we've already got an amazing comment from the audience. D Matrix wants to know, what is your biggest inspiration for your music or on your music?
uh, I really don't know. Like, it's you know, I think, and it's gonna sound fucked up. Hate when I read these comments on Facebook and whatever else where they're talking shit about me. It's kind of like, okay. And then when you hear some of my songs, you'll hear me like subliminally dissing people. It's the people in the comments section that are talking shit that I'm subliminally dissing. Like, I'm not gonna put their names out there in these songs and give them, publicity, but they sort of fuel me, as crazy as it may sound.
Yes, yes.
Like whenever I want to give up, I look for those comments for inspiration.
So would you say that you're fueled by the haters?
Yeah, yeah, in a
Right.
way. When they stop hating, like I'll have less to talk about and less inspiration to keep going.
I totally get that. That's great. That's great. So you don't ever let the haters get you down at all. Period.
Well, I'll argue with them for the algorithm to boost my post,
Argue with them
but that
for the
that's the only
algorithm.
reason. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So you don't have to answer this directly, but where are you from and where are you now? And do you have any plans to get anywhere else in the future? That like any other state, any other country, any plans or goals to go anywhere else at all?
Well, I was born in Bowling Green, Ohio. Graduated high school, Bowling Green High School. I live in Bowling Green, Ohio now, and I don't plan on leaving this town. I got like let me see here. I got like 25 years left on my mortgage. So yeah, I don't plan on leaving Bowling Green.
Well, hey, that's what's up.
I'm I take a lot of pride in Bowling Green in the 419 and being from this area. So I couldn't see myself moving.
Yes.
Maybe like if I had to, I would, but I don't. I don't see that happening. I don't go to Walmart and get attacked and mugged by people, so I don't need to. I don't need to move.
I totally get you. It can be like that in certain places in the 419. Trust me. Um, all right. A little bit personal, but you're welcome to answer. You're welcome to opt out. How old are you? And how long have you been making music or being creative?
I'm old as shit. I'll be 39 on the 6th of April,
Okay.
and I've been doing music since um, 2001. Like is when I first started like writing rhymes, recording on a tape, on cassette tapes. Me rapping.
Heck yeah. And what date did you say
And
you were born? I'm sorry.
April 6th,
I was
1986.
born April 6th. Yeah,
No way.
I was born April 6th, 2001. We're birthday twins.
Nice. Well, you're young. Damn. Yeah, I'm old.
It's okay. You're not really that old. You're like a year older than my boyfriend. It's a-okay.
But I don't think the age with the music matters. Like we're seeing like with hip hop a lot of these older rappers, like LL Cool J and Snoop Dogg, Ice Cube, Eminem, they're still going and they're still at the top of their game. So I think
Exactly.
it's gonna be like where there's no people saying, "Yo, you're too old to rap," because that used to be a thing back in the day. Once you hit like 30, 35, people like, "Oh, that's old man rap. I don't want to listen
A
to that."
lot of
But
those
I
guys
think
are
that's gonna
already in
die
their
down.
40s.
Yeah. It's I don't think the age matters as long as the talent and the passion is there.
Absolutely. So we got a comment from the Chef Gesture. He says, "What artist inspired you to start your music?" I think we already had a similar comment.
Ah man, artist.
Yes. What artists
Well,
inspired you?
I don't think there's one. I think there's multiple because you got to consider the time period. It was 2001. So in 2001, I was listening to Nelly and Eminem a lot. And then when 50 Cent came out with the Get Rich or Die Trying, I really like that's when I really was like, okay, that's when I pressed like my first CD up was in 2003 and started selling it around high school. So I would say probably Eminem, Nelly, and 50 Cent are the ones who helped get me going, like as far as inspiration.
Okay, I can see that, definitely. Is there any other artists that you'd say you've found along the way that inspire you now to continue doing work, to continue
Uh,
writing?
Kendrick Lamar,
Okay.
and you'll see if you play my one song called "Not Like Me." It's got a similar title to his song for a reason. It's sort of my version, and the
Okay.
beats similar. Yeah, I mean because competition was a big thing in hip hop. The rap battles, going back and forth on tracks, and then it got to a certain point where it died down. But now with Kendrick Lamar and Drake going at it, like it's kind of bringing back the competitiveness, and I think competition is good for rap music in general.
Definitely. You know what? And competition is good for a lot of different types of aspects in the creative world as well. It kind of influences and pushes people to better their game and to build and give themselves more education and knowledge to become better. I don't see a lot of people just giving up on a competition. If you're really a competitive person, you're going to want to up your game and become better so that the next competition you have better chances. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
What is your main artistic focus in your music right now? Do you have any projects that you're primarily focused on?
Um, well, I'm working on the crossover three with local Mike. I just put out on the 14th of March, which is my son's sixth birthday. I picked that day for a reason, but I just put out my solo album called Follow the White Rabbit. Um, and yeah, it's doing good numbers, and I'm happy with that. I'm excited for crossover three with Loco Mike. It's our third album together. I got 10 solo albums, and this will be Mike and I's third album together. So I have a lot of material.
Well, heck yeah, that's awesome. Now, what would you say so far your favorite project has been?
It's definitely the new one, Follow the White Rabbit,
Yeah.
because I'll show you.
Okay.
Um, because I recorded it on different equipment. I don't know if anybody knows much about equipment, but this is the WA 8000G. It costs $1,385
Oh,
total.
no shit.
So it's we went to a real studio to record this one song, right? And it costed $120 to record one song. And like when I was there, I was asking the studio engineer all these questions, and and he actually answered them, and he gave me tips and stuff. So I went and I got my own, equipment that's studio quality, so that way I could just keep recording in here. I also have the Avid M Box as my interface. It's made by the company that makes Pro Tools. I had Pro Tools. I don't like it. I still use Personas. What is it called? Studio One version 5.
Okay.
So
So, do you mix and
and then
master
I
your
got
own beats? And do you produce your own beats? Or do you just mix and master your own vocals and have other people produce your beats?
I buy my beats online and lease them online, and then I do all like my vocal recording, mixing, and mastering myself.
Oh, that's pretty cool. That's cool.
And
Heck yeah. Now,
I mean, I'm a cheap ass. I like to save money on that,
of course, who
and
wouldn't?
I
It is actually cheaper in the long run to purchase your own studio equipment than paying for $100 studio sessions. Like, if you go to the studio once a week, 7 days a week, that's already $700 right there. So you're only a few $100 shy of buying studio equipment like that. You know what I mean? If you really do the math,
yeah.
so no, not this episode's not about me. All right, next question. What's your biggest downfall as an artist, would you think?
Uh, Patience.
Patience? Why do you think it's patience?
I'm because well, he asked me about the 31 followers before, or 31,000 followers before we went live, and you know I'm not patient with how fast I am like moving up with my social media and with my Spotify followers and all that. And I want things to move a lot faster with that. But at the same time, I understand that you gotta like slowly step up.
Consistency is key when you're
Mm.
building online engagement. That's the best advice I have for that. Constantly posting, engaging with people, and don't look at people as your fans or your audience. That's the biggest mistake is when you start looking at people's numbers, then that's all they are. You don't have that engagement or that actual special relationship with them. You don't have that, oh, I understand you and you understand me. At that point, you don't even understand that it's people that are fans of you. So it's always good to have those posts that you can learn about other people, maybe ask people about their days and tell people, just engagement posts, ask and tell, and you know what I mean? It's always good to have an area as a content creator where other people can network and engage as well, because those are the best opportunities that you're going to build your own engagement.
Yeah, I try to respond to every comment if I can,
Yes.
and sometimes I post things about myself that are kind of personal on
You
there,
gotta make sure you get that
and I think
people
it
playing
goes
out.
well because
That's what
people
you
can
ask for
relate.
it too, for real.
Like when I posted about how I've been sober for so long and how I used to pop pain pills every day, like people can relate to that.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, and that's something that I learned from Jelly Roll because he's a real vulnerable guy and he's not ashamed to talk about how he was addicted, how he went to jail, how he did all those things, and I think people can relate to that because they're like, well, if he can get clean, if he can stay out of jail, if he can, why can't I? And they identify and relate, and they're inspired by it. So I
Right.
mean, I kind of want people to be inspired by me
Of
sometimes.
course, and I think as any artist would, a positive inspiration, or a positive reflection on other people. I like that. Now here's the opposing question. What do you think your best quality as an artist would be? What are some highlights that you think you like you have your best qualities would be? Sorry.
Um, I like to study things. I like to learn
Okay.
things. Um, like I spent like a whole 2 week time period studying frequencies and EQing vocals and all this stuff and trying different things until I got it down how I wanted it to be. And I get my wife says I'm like OCD or not OCD. She says I have ADD and or ADHD or whatever it's called. And I think I do too because I'll get fixated on one thing. Like I got to improve this part, and I'll work on it for a couple weeks and study it, watch YouTube videos, try things out, take notes, and then once I get it good, I move on to another thing that I feel like I have to work on and do the same thing.
Hyperfixation.
Yeah,
Yes, absolutely.
I'm kind of a perfectionist sometimes with when I'm mixing and mastering and recording. I've there's this one song where I recorded the song and mixed it seven
Oh
times.
wow.
Still wasn't happy with it. So I just put it out anyways.
Sometimes that's what you have to do if you're not gonna find yourself content with the final project. Sometimes you just gotta push out what you've got. Um. All right. Where are
Right.
we?
Just because it's not your favorite song doesn't mean it's not going to be a lot of the fans' favorite song.
Right. That too.
I,
Right,
I,
right. That's what I've been slowly learning.
I've had times with so many different artist friends that I know where we've had the same conversation, and they, you know, ended up putting out the song just because they're a perfectionist, or not even a perfectionist, but it's just their shit. And they like, you know what I mean? They want it to be good, but
Mm-hmm.
it's already good. You know what I mean? Like at a certain point, anyways. But yeah,
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Sometimes when you're writing it and when you're getting ready to record it, you hear it in your head a certain way. And when you can't get it that way in the final product, like it's frustrating. So you keep trying, and it never gets there. So sometimes you just got to be like, okay, we'll just put it out there and see what happens.
right.
Mm-hmm.
And there's lyrics in like old songs that are like way pop, Tupac, Biggie, all kinds of stuff that like if you ask me if I wrote it, like I might change a word or so just to make it flow better or whatever. But like those are still songs that sold gold and platinum and shit all over the world. So
Yeah, I mean, I I don't like California Love, and I love Tupac. You know what I mean? You're always gonna have a song or two that people don't like, even if they like your music and like you as an artist. You know?
Mm-hmm. Um. Moving forward. Mm, what has your best experience as an artist been so far?
Um, let's see. I opened up for Bone Thugs and Harmony in 2004, 2014 at Headliners in
Oh
Toledo.
shit.
That was one of them, and I got to meet three of them afterwards. I met Busy, Wish, and Fleshbone.
Okay.
That was one of my. And then there's another one. Do you know who the Dayton family is?
No, I don't.
They they are from Flint, Michigan, and they were pretty big in the '90s. And I know I mentioned ICP earlier. They were actually signed with Psychopath Records in like the early to mid 2000s. But um, one of them posted something on Facebook a couple years ago about collabs. And so I got a hold of him and I still have his phone number. And anyways, I got the two remaining members of the Dayton family on the same song with me. Like legit, I talked to them on the phone, worked the thing out, paid them, and everything. And it was just an amazing experience. Yeah, shout out to the Dayton family in Flint, Michigan.
Heck yeah, that's
It was
awesome.
awesome. Bootleg and Shoestring are the guys' names. They're they're awesome.
Heck yeah. Uh,
Oh, and then there was Crazy from No Limit Records.
okay.
He was with the 504 boys. I I I got him on my Facebook friend list. I got him on a song too, like personally worked out the deal, paid him,
That's
and so
awesome.
I've had a couple of cool connections.
That's pretty cool that you've had to, you've had some cool connections and got to networks with some, it sounds like some pretty awesome people and got to experience some cool things and open for cool people. Um, what's your worst experience been as an artist?
Oh man,
I'm gonna beat you.
uh,
I love you.
I don't even know the worst worst experience.
Yes, your worst experience.
It's probably every time where I quit making music for a couple years because that's happened a couple of times.
Every time where you quit making
But
music?
yeah, for like 2 or 3 years at a time, and like from 2020 to 2022, like I wasn't doing anything,
Okay.
and I just quit. And then I would say from 2014 to 2016, 17, I wasn't doing a whole lot either. And
Uh,
those are horrible times just because I'm not creating, people aren't hearing me, and sometimes it's because like I got depressed.
well,
I felt like I wasn't good enough, but
as an artist, I recognize that creating music is a release of emotion and it is also an outlet, So I feel like a lot of us definitely subconsciously suffer when we're not creating or we're not making music.
Definitely. Speaking of which, do you have any other hobbies?
Speaking of which, do you have any other hobbies or anything else that you like to participate in?
um, I watch a lot of sports. You
Okay.
know, I watch a lot of football, a lot of basketball. Uh, I research. I research a lot besides just researching like recording, mixing, mastering, all that. I also research music marketing and online promotions.
Okay.
And yeah, there's a couple people that I watch. I'll just shout them out for the people watching that may make music. Look up Nick D. He's this guy who was just a regular guy working every day, had a wife, had a kid, had kids, and he started getting millions of streams and a bunch of followers on Spotify, and now he makes his living off of doing music. And then there's this guy, Manifest. He's actually He's actually a rock person. Neither one of these guys are rappers. That Nick D is more like, pop stuff. But Manifest, he does like rock. He's a Christian rock, I believe. He doesn't cuss or nothing.
It's not gonna
But
work.
he makes enough money off of music that he doesn't have to work either. And like I watch videos on these guys, I take their advice, I write notes down, and I apply it to my own promotions. And
Okay. I see.
I'm glad there are people out there that have success in the music business and are willing to share it on YouTube.
Of course. That's kind of a lot of what we like to do here is share what we can build. I myself started this Happy Days thing about 6 months. No, almost a year ago now. I can't even lie. It's been quite a while since we started. But in the thing of it is, as an artist, it was to build connection and to help promote, but also in a sense to I guess, bridge connections of communities together. So, we have a lot of Juggalo connections and people that watch us that are within the Juggalo community. But then we have a bunch of people within the EDM and the rhythm scene and the dubstep scene and the rave scene that watch us as well. So, it's about building connections and bridging together artists for us here. So I see it and I love it and I appreciate it. Um
Yeah, I looked at your page and I saw that there was a lot of juggalos. That's why I had to shout out ICP for doing everything independently on their own and working so hard. And if it wasn't for people like ICP and Master P starting their own record labels, then the music industry would be totally different now, and there wouldn't be as many people veering away from record companies and doing their own thing.
Exactly. Exactly. So shouts out to ICP. Fuck yeah. Um, all right. Where do you see yourself as an artist within the next 5 years? Do you have a 5-year game plan that you're ready to roll out with?
Well, when I was deciding to come back from my break, in late 2021, is that 2022 was the first album that I released in 2 years. I told myself in 2022, you got at least 3 to 5 years before you can give up. And it's 3 years later, right? Right now. And I'm like, do I want to give up? I'm just now starting to get some traction going and to pick up some momentum. So I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna fully give up, but I want to. I've juggled with the thought of sort of transitioning more towards being a more of a social media content creator and maybe just doing a song or two every month rather than like doing like an album or two every year.
That makes sense.
I don't know. I don't see myself walking away from music in
Yeah,
the next like
of
five
course.
years or so.
You got to keep it consistent, and I see what you're doing there. I see how you're making plans and stuff with that. Do you see yourself branching out and maybe creating any of your own record label ideas or anything like that in the near future?
Um, No, because it's hard enough to manage my music, and then when me and Local Mike get together to set up the releases and do all that stuff. So I couldn't imagine having like a roster of like 10 different artists, and especially with 40-hour work weeks, two kids.
Right.
But I mean, that was my dream, like back in the day, was to start my own record label and be like the main artist.
Right.
But yeah, I don't.
I totally get it. Do you have any shows or events that you plan on attending in the near future?
No, I do
No,
not.
you do not.
I
Well, what do you do? And
I,
you gotta let
I
us know.
see. Here's the thing. I did a show in October. I did a show in November, and those were the first two shows that I did in 7 years.
Okay.
And how do I say? I don't know how to say, I don't want to follow the terms of these local promoters to be on their shows.
Right.
I'm trying to say this in the most respectful way as I can. I don't believe that an artist should have to pay money to perform. I believe it should be the other way around. That the artist, even if you just give them $5 to perform, they're bringing in people. The people are buying drinks and food. If there's food at the venue. So I believe that I'm very like power to the artist type of person.
I agree
So I
with
don't see
you.
myself doing any shows around here
Yes.
because I'm not gonna pay you $30 so I can perform for 10 minutes. Like then there's no big artist. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I 100% agree with you, especially when it comes to local shows. How are you going to sit here and make an artist pay $30 for a slot when your headlining artist is bringing the same crowd as all of the other artists are bringing in? And I'm not trying
Yep,
I'm not being a
exactly.
dick when I say that, but I see that happen so much. You got these headlining artists, but these headlining artists are literally the same. They have the same following, the same network. A lot of them have the same exact fans as the other artists performing, and you're making everybody, the only person that's making money is the promoter at that point, and everyone's losing
Yeah, the
money.
promoter and the owner of the bars.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
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 owner of the
promoter
bars,
and
the
the
owners
owner of
love
the
the promoters,
venue.
and then the artists go home. Missing $30. They paid gas money to get there. They
Right.
took the time to pay for studio time to record the song. They took time out of their week to practice,
Yes.
and they get negative money basically.
Exactly, negative money. And you are lucky as an artist when you go and you find new fans and stuff or new people to engage with or network in. But that's a bit rare when it comes to that stuff because, like I said, a lot of the local shows are in the at least in the Northwest scene where I'm at in the Ohio area. It's all the same artists at all the venues, no matter what city or state you're or
He's
what
Hmm.
from
area you're in.
Ohio.
Right,
Shout out your town, baby.
BG. It's
Yeah,
We know where you're at.
all right. We.
yeah. Yeah. It's all the same. Like when I look at these flyers that people are posting for shows in Toledo, shows, in Fostoria, it's always at least the same five rappers, but with a couple new ones here and there on every
Yes,
show.
yes, exactly. Exactly.
That's a good way to burn your name out and run your brand into the ground is just hopping on every single show in your area that you can get
Right.
because people are, well, I saw him last Friday, now I'm seeing him this Saturday, and then he's going to be there like, I would, back when I did do a lot of shows, I would go to Toledo, I would do shows in Bowling Green. I even went to Cleveland. I went to Chicago once. So I tried, and I was trying to get a show up in Detroit, but it didn't work out. They wanted me to pay money, and yeah, nope, not
Yeah,
happening.
fuck that. Fuck all that noise. For our next question, we got about three or four left. One person, dead or alive, that you would want to work with on a song.
Oh man, people are gonna be mad at me for this one because where I should be saying Tupac, Biggie, or DMX, I'm actually gonna say somebody like Rich Homie Quan because, and I've been listening, and I'm like, what? Like that throws people off probably, but I've been listening to him a lot, and he just recently died, and like listen, and I went back and was listening to all his old music that I used to listen to, and I'm like, this guy really like shifted the sound of hip hop into, what some of the new. Without him, there would be no people like Lil Baby, Lil Durk, all these guys like that. They're just like imitating him, but they're mumbling instead of fully enunciating their words. And he really like
Mm-hmm.
was inspirational, and man, yeah, like some type of way like that. I was listening to that song today. It's so good, so catchy. He's mixed the singing with the rapping, and yeah,
Yes.
so definitely him.
Definitely. And I can totally see that and why you'd be inspired by that and why you'd also want to work with somebody that's talented like that. I definitely can understand that. Um, Now, one person, dead or alive, that you would want to see you as you perform.
Um, I probably want DMX to see me perform. You
Okay.
know, as far as favorite dead rappers go, he's like my favorite dead rapper, DMX, and then Tupac would be after that. Like, so yeah, DMX, he always had a lot of energy, was always hyped up when he performed. And to be honest, before every show I performed, I would listen to DMX just to get me pumped up. I like to go out there and I like to jump around and get crazy and yell shit at the crowd, like put your fucking drinks in the air, and that was
Definitely.
back, when I was drinking a lot and doing drugs a lot. Yeah.
I definitely so I can get it, I get it. Um, all right. Question 10. Do you have any advice for any other artists out there that might one day watch this?
Ah, I got a lot of advice. Actually, my first piece of advice would be Don't give up. I'll be 39 years old, in like a little over a week. So, and I'm still going. Okay.
Still
Um,
going.
would just like how do I say this? Like, even though I'm old as shit, I am the most successful in making the most money off of my music than I ever did. And I'm not trying to brag about that. I'm just saying that when you think that you should give up, that's when you should put your foot on the gas even more and go even harder and start, showing people like, no, I'm not giving up. I'm here to stay. This name is going to be heard. It's going to be seen. You're going to see my face. You're going to hear my voice. And I'm going to do everything I can to make that happen. So, my main advice would be just never give up.
Never give up.
And also stay consistent, and keep trying to get better and better with each song you do, each album you do. I guess that'd be my best advice. Study too. Study what's going on in the music industry. And as far as like if you're promoting yourself, study how other people are promoting themselves and what they're doing. As long as they're successful, you want to study whoever's successful, and maybe, even if they're not in your genre of music, if they're using certain ways to get heard and to get seen, apply them to your own music, and it just might work.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah, that's good advice. Very good advice. Um, who would you like to see interviewed on this podcast? Within reach,
Um,
not like
I pro-
not like Taylor Swift, you know.
oh man, I love her too. But probably would like to see my boy Local Mike, or he's in a group called Latin Crew. Maybe like to see both of those guys. There's this guy Brian Durst who he sets up the shows at one of the venues here, and he's got a pretty good following too on Facebook. I think he's up to like 16,000 followers. He lives like 45 minutes down the road from me.
Heck
He'd be a good
yeah.
guy for you to interview, and I think he would be available, and he could use the publicity, because he's got a lot of contacts for bigger artists. He's setting up these shows with these bigger artists, and he's opening up for them, and he's putting up his own money to get them to come out there and trying to make his own money back. So I think he would definitely be a good candidate. I'm looking at right now, like he's bringing Bobby Shmurda to a show to perform June
Oh
19th,
heck
and
yeah.
who else does he got? Have you ever heard of Doobie? Yep, he's bringing him to Toledo. So I mean, he's definitely got some connections with bigger artists. Finesse two times. He brought him here. I think it was on like the 9th of March. I mean, he's a real good guy. I've performed at one of his showcases.
Heck yeah, that is way cool. Heck yeah. So if
He,
you
he's
oh, we're glitching out. Go ahead.
oh, I was just gonna say he's kind of like a white Michael Jackson, like his style of music.
Heck yeah.
The way he sings, the pop style, but yeah, he's good.
Heck yeah, that is way cool. Well, we will definitely get in contact with him and see if we cannot get him on the show. Um, so we do have some music that you sent us that we can play. Is there a specific song that you want us to play first?
Um, probably the "Not Like Me" song, the one that I was talking about earlier, that was inspired by the Kendrick Lamar song.
We got hella ads. Yeah, OB. We're not sponsored by these ads. Can you hear it?
Yep, I can hear it a little bit.
Okay, we are playing it from our Bluetooth speaker right now because we don't have a laptop. I got to upgrade. I moved and I didn't bring anything important with me. That's the gist of it. All right, this is Not Like Me, Ghetto-T. And like always, we're going to hit that subscribe button. As you can see, subscribed.
This a little knock for the haters on my job. All you do is pop, and all your music pop. Then when I stop, bro, I gotta laugh. Big ass truck, yeah, I'm taking out the trash. Mumble ass rappers, I'm sick of it, bro. You ain't little baby, so you gotta go. On the senior verse and close your eyes. Tell more lies. Only fucking mission. Bunch of featherweights can't run in my division. I'm out here hustling like the white 50 Cent. So you damn right, just to pay your rent. Baby mama pregnant, but the hoe been cheating. While you in the key doing shows on the weekend. Silly ass rappers, zesty ass rappers, got your ass exposed by fucking cracker. I'm not like them, and they not like me. R.I.P. Fucking with T. Hold on, wait a minute, let me put some fiction in it. You rapping on the gram, you capping my man. See y'all public, I ain't shaking your hand. Cause you ain't me, and I ain't you. T don't do the bullshit you do. You rock a fake chain, claiming it's real. Might get robbed and even killed. The game is real, turn off the Xbox. Or you might get shot, like you in the next box. R.P. my dude, yeah, Mr. Shakur. You know me be one, never anymore. Fuck these clones and lil wannabes in the 419. There's a bunch of mini T's. Bro, I ain't tried it, it makes me sick. To see so many bricks on my dick. I'm not like them, and they not like me. R.I.P. Fucking with T. I got a question, you whack little fucks. Why you put up tracks, knowing that you suck? Do raps, it's time to flush them down. This ain't no joke, why you laughing now? This ain't no Kendrick, and this ain't no trick. Your local rapper is probably fake. Fake ass chain with a fake ass name. Fake ass gun, so we won't take aim. Won't take blame for the kids killing kids. They just doing what they thought you did. Sliding on your ops and popping the cops. You ain't get that, now homie, just stop. All through the community, we need unity. Half of these rappers ain't as true as we. Homie just a sheep, I'm the big G-O-A-T. Exposed by hoes is probably why they hate me. I'm not like them, and they not like me. R.I.P. Fucking with T. That's it, bitch.
That was fire.
Oh my god.
I like that. That was
Oh my
good.
god. Dude, that was a fun one to
Oh,
do.
I bet it sounds like it was
I'm
fun.
surprised. I'm surprised people aren't mad at me for that one.
Uh,
With all the shots I'm taking at local rappers around here.
I am weak. Well, honestly, it'll probably come in later after people have already seen the episode and stuff like that, but that's okay. That's okay.
Well, stop wearing fake chains and acting like you're in a gang if you're not. That's all I'm saying. I mean, if you're not in the gang,
Right.
all I see is a bunch of fake rappers around here trying to act hard. Like I don't. That's the thing. I don't ever act hard or like. I tell people like I'm an old man who has two kids who works a factory. I'm not in the streets. I'm not selling drugs. I'm not carrying dangerous.
Right. So we've got a little bit of time left. I can play one more song. Do we want to do the real hip hop featuring Loco Mike or do we want to do White Bronco? I kind of want to hear this feature. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. We can do that real hip hop with Local Mike.
All right. So do you want to tell us a
That's
little bit
it's
about
that's
it
all
before
there.
we play it, though?
This one it's like a real like old school sounding one.
Okay.
It's all about nostalgia. When I heard that beat, it reminded me of like hip hop from the late '80s, early '90s, and it just took me back to a certain place, and it gave me a happy feeling inside. This one is like the opposite of the one you played. This one like there's no cussing in it at all, and it's like real mellow and laid back, and it just reminds me of like the good old days of hip hop.
All right. Well, heck yeah. We're going to play that. Here we go. We are not sponsored by these YouTube ads at all, period. No ads. Real hip hop featuring Loco Mike.
You know how I do. 3 to the 4, I know you want more. 5 to the 6, we all in the mix. Hip hop junkies gon' get a fix. I'm high off this music, I never calm down. And I'ma use it to move this crowd. With the M and MC, know it's not a test. When you spit your rhymes, better be your best. Just suck the MC. they get no love. Got these skills from the man above. G-O-T, now I'm getting MC. And we go back like Run DMC. Another Def Jam can't help but turn it up. And if you hate on us, then we don't give a what. From BG all the way to me, there's only one logo mic and Ghetto-T. That real hip hop. Now tell me how you feel. Drop that needle. It's time to get ill. I grab this mic. You know I do it right. When we rock a party, we do it all night. That real hip hop. Now tell me how you feel. Drop that needle. It's time to get ill. I grab this mic. You know I do it right. When we rock a party, we do it all night. Hands in the air, hands in the air. Now wave them all around like you just don't care. I'm a hip hop, bebop, and do what I do. Doing them on the mic, yeah, I'm talking to you. Always to express, never to impress. Passion for this music, and you can be my guest. Flow so smooth, the beat moves on. They call me MIC when I was born. I'm to my blood, performance in my jeans. Rapping through the booth, projecting my dreams. Feel the biggest side, 80s head clap. Piano's getting jazzy from the man in the black hat. Yeah, it's about to get real from the old school father with the license to. Music is my life. You can come on in. When we come together, the party never ends. That real hip hop. Now tell me how you feel. Drop that needle. It's time to get ill. I grab this mic. You know I do it right. When we rock a party, we do it all night. That real hip hop. Now tell me how you feel. Drop that needle. It's time to get ill. I grab this mic. You know I do it right. When we rock a party, we do it all night.
That was a good vibe. I like that. I like that a lot. That was definitely the type of music that I would want to roll a joint to and probably like take a nice relaxing walk in the park or like a little jog. That's what will be playing on my headphones, you know what I mean? That's the type of shit I like. It's a good song. I like it. It's not it's not overwhelming when it comes to like the hip hop vibe you were going to, the old school nostalgia, and then at the same time you definitely captured that. We're not gonna cuss in this at all, but you captured it so perfectly that you wouldn't even notice. Like if you didn't say anything, that's something that you just wouldn't even notice. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. I loved that.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I'm big on nostalgia lately. Like I've been talking about it at work. There's just something about certain things that you see and hear that just take you back to, oh, when I was a kid, when I was a teenager, when I
Hmm.
was in my early 20s or whatever. Like it's just and like that's definitely the type of hip hop that was coming out like when I was younger and first started listening to hip hop.
Absolutely.
I heard that beat and I instantly came up with the hook. I'm like, that real hip
That's
hop. Tell me
awesome.
how you feel. And then, and I'm like, okay, what can I add to that?
And you know what's nice when the music speaks to you and the music tells you exactly how it's supposed to sound. You know what I mean? You hear the message and you can say the message and you can like translate it like that. I love that.
Yeah, it's almost like the beat talks to you
Yes.
sometimes. I feel like.
Yes, I can definitely relate to that. Absolutely. Um, well, before we get off here, is there anything else that you'd like to talk about or say to the audience? Anybody you want to give shout outs to?
Um, uh, Shout out to local Mike. Him and I, we're like Snoop and Dre. We're like Redman and Method Man. We do a lot of music together. He used to live like a street over from me, so we're pretty close. Like, I give a shout out to local Mike. Go ahead and check him out. Give a shout out to his group, Latin Crew. It's his group is Latin Crew is him and Big Bad Boy Surge. So those are my guys. Like, I don't we don't have a record company like together, but those are my guys. We work together. We're all on the same team basically. And
Well,
shout out to Brian Durst too.
shout out.
Shout out to all the fans, all the followers, all the people that laugh at and share the disgusting, shitty, hilarious memes that I share. And shout out to the people who like my morning inspirational posts and share them too. My And that's another tip of advice I will give artists that I have uh, I have heard and I've seen in action from bigger artists than myself is that don't just try to shove your music down their throats all the time with every single post. Try to um, give them like a form. There's like a formula. People want to feel something, and once they're emotionally drawn in to you, whether you make them laugh, whether you make them smile, whether you give a story that they can relate to, like if you were abused as a child or sexually abused as a child, or if you were addicted to drugs and you got clean, or things like that. People can relate to certain things, and I try to with my Facebook page, I try to give people inspiration and hope, and then also make them laugh as well. And then if you look through my comments, you'll see me sneaking in the links and the promos. Hey, check out my new album.
Yeah.
Hey, follow me on YouTube if you don't already. So I'm not always just shoving, hey, man, I got a new song out. Check out my new song. Check out my new. And I never tag 99 people in a post to check out my song. The people don't want to be raped with your promo, basically. Just find other ways to draw them in, and then here you go in the comment section. Put it down there,
Yeah.
and it's been working for me.
Heck yeah. That's some great advice, and I think a lot of artists should take that into consideration when it comes to their marketing tactics and their promotional tactics out there. Do not tag a billion people in your Facebook music posts. Um, you should make more engaging posts, and like he says,
Hmm.
post those links in the comments of your posts instead of making direct posts. It'll also boost your posts in the algorithm if you're posting about other stuff. So other people, you'll get more eyes on that post because you're not promoting your music at that point. In the direct post, you're actually engaging in creating a topic post instead of promoting. So you'll actually boost yourself in the algorithm more doing that as well. So that's some very, very good
Exactly. The
advice.
more people that comment, the more people that like, heart, laugh on your post, the higher it's going to be in the algorithm. And here's a real easy one to do. Just every so often, because you're gonna get followers over time if you're staying on it. So every like 6 months, make a post saying, hey, where I just want to know where all my followers are from. And some of them will start, oh, I'm from Houston, Texas. Oh, I'm from Los Angeles, California. I'm from and reply to every single comment, and it'll keep boosting it in the algorithm. And once you get a couple posts that are higher in the algorithm, it's easier to get your next few posts higher in the algorithm.
Yes, it is. Yes, and it.
I don't
Go ahead.
yeah, I don't know everything, but like I research this heavily. You know what I mean? I watch all these videos, I read all these articles, and this is all information that like the artist watching. If they go and look at up on YouTube, they're gonna see like the same thing or similar things. Like, yeah, just always be willing to learn and like apply those to your own craft and your own art, or if you got a small business.
Yes. Yes, it's very, very good marketing tactics that he's giving here, guys. So definitely take these and apply them. Even if you don't full on, go and do your own research, try to apply some of the tactics that we've discussed here tonight because a lot of these tactics and ideas are going to help boost you in the algorithm and boost your engagement a lot, and it's good to help boost your engagement and also it'll bring you more networking capabilities. You'll be able to meet more artists like that and maybe possibly come up with more collaborations and get more podcast ideas and interviews and options, plenty of stuff that you guys can do to network and build and broaden your horizons out there when it comes to filtering and promoting your network and your music. I want to give shout outs to everybody who watched tonight. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you guys. Chef Gesture, XO, ICD Matrix, Jordan, Jacob, everybody who watched tonight. I thank you guys so much. We got 3XG Spits in the chat. You guys are awesome, and I can't wait to see you guys on our next episode. I'm gonna get a hold of Blind Logic and see when that's happening, and I will let you guys know shortly. Ghetto-T, is there anything else that you want to say before we get off here?
Don't give up.
Don't give up.
That's just my that's my overall message with life.
Don't
Don't
give
give up.
up. All right.
Keep going.
Keep going, everybody. And with that, I hope you all have a blessed night and peace. I'm going to take us off here and run our end credits. All right. Bam.
Yeah, like I'm on acid and it's making me happy. Got them bullets keep trying to fuck with the specs on the map. Being you that meant the most, this is most minds for the future. The strength ahead us in the past, no matter stacking knowledge for the future. A computer like a CPU or CPU. Gender spaces and hateful masks, all but this masquerades are non-chromatic, empathetic. This is a muddy mess, people living in for the moment, might have broader than mess. Yeah, it's acid happy. God, I'm willing.
Oh my gosh. Wow.